Hi, I'm Natasha Lockhart. Have we got a show for you? Let's talk about your money and the new year.
I'm Apple Danes. Having a hard time getting the kids to eat right? We have some help.
And I'm Stacey Beck. Time to get back on that fitness wagon. Help is here.
All this and more coming right up on Studio Chatter. Welcome to Studio Chatter. How's everyone doing?
Fantastic.
You're back. Welcome back.
Happy New Year to all of you.
Happy New Year.
Yes, it's great to be back. But
How are you guys all doing being
back
to real life? Well, especially you after a big vacation.
Exhausting. Actually, I need another vacation, but it's okay. You know,
Some vacations wear you out, and that one probably did.
Yes,
we can't wait
to
hear more about it.
Oh, yes.
That's not uncommon, right? Everybody says you need a vacation from your vacation.
Then you take children.
Yeah.
Oh, heavens,
taking
yes.
some time off just from city council responsibilities, work responsibilities, because I took about just 2 weeks off, and to go back, your brain has to catch up, and people at work were saying the same thing. It's just it takes you a minute to get back in gear of what.
Even the kids, being at school and
you
same
can
with
sense
them.
that.
It's
It's so strange.
I saw more than once in my social media feeds. It's time to get back to adulting. Like get out of your PJs, get back to adulting. I'm like, oh yeah, there's so much truth to that.
Yeah. Did you guys see any movies over the holidays? You probably didn't because you were in Africa.
That's right.
Oh, not even on the plane. A couple on the plane, maybe.
No, I didn't. I just didn't.
You read?
Oh, yeah, I did. Yes, I did read.
We know what you were reading.
That's
too.
right.
We'll talk about that. What movies did you see?
We saw Star Wars, The Greatest Showman.
Oh, okay. So everybody, like literally everyone I know is talking about The Greatest Showman. Is it?
We really liked it. We're not a musical family, so we did really like it.
Okay.
Would I go see it like 3 times? Because I hear people are doing that.
Yes, I've heard people go out, circle around, go see it again.
Yeah.
So isn't it the guy from what show?
It's Hugh Jackman.
Oh, from X-Files.
Yeah, that plays the Wolverine.
Not X-Files. Yes,
X-Men.
Well, X-Men. Yeah.
And Zac Efron from High School Musical.
Nice. I do like that.
So it's the story, the life story of Barnum Bailey and how he started the circus and just the greatest show on earth, right? So I'm literally dying to see it. So by the next time we film, I will have seen it. I promise.
Did you take your kids to see anything kid friendly?
Nope.
No kid friendly movies.
Nope. We stayed in the home theater and rented a couple of things there. But we'd rather have them bounce off the walls at home.
Right. Yes. We saw Jumanji, and that was
I heard it was good.
Yeah.
Oh, with The Rock. Yeah, I saw that. I did see somebody else's show. It was Baywatch. With The Rock. I was like, glad I'm not really watching that. Oh, yeah.
So we have been just going through some old things, kind of catching up on some things at home, and
old movies.
Ish.
Okay.
So we watched the HBO movie Game Changer. Are you familiar with that movie?
No.
So
I'm glad it's not just me here.
So no, I wasn't really either, but it's the movie that was made about Sarah Palin. When she was running for vice president. And the conversation that we started at home was basically how things may have turned out differently for her had she been running now. Just because, having Trump...
It was a decade ago, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So how anything is truly possible now. So having Trump as the president now and just the way that politics have kind of evolved, I just wonder what it would be like to have her involved in politics now. So if you have some time, it's worth watching. Game Changer.
My husband and I last holiday season, a year ago, we watched The Crown. On Netflix, and the next season just came out. So we're about halfway through that, and I'm really
British.
Yeah, Queen Elizabeth. That's queen right now. Yeah. So it's so interesting of just watching different political figures, and the actress is phenomenal. She nails Queen Elizabeth of just her mannerisms and very proper, and the role she had to step into at a very young age because her father passed away. So it's definitely worth watching.
So another anniversary that is coming up is the Kerrigan Harding incident.
Oh.
So you may remember that. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
So it's the Olympians and Tanya
Harding.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, she did. I don't think it was actually her that got the crowbar and got Nancy Kerrigan in the knee that took the Olympic medal from her. But there is going to be, I think, in the next couple of weeks or something, an interview that Tanya shares the story, and then the movie is going to be coming out. So I'm super interested in watching that movie too.
You know, I don't think anything, books or movies, need to be fiction because real life, there's
most
so
definitely.
much meat and drama and suspense in real life.
Yes. True.
And it's so intriguing to hear other people's true stories.
Yes. On that note, in real life, you had a really cool event just happen in your life.
My son, he's 19 years old, swore into the Army National Guard last week.
Congratulations.
So that was a really cool experience. He talked about being in the military as a little boy and then, grew up. But then like his senior year of high school, he started talking about it again. He knew he didn't want to go on a mission. He wasn't really ready for college because he doesn't know what direction.
Right.
It's such a big step. And so I've been excited to watch him find this direction. It's giving him direction, and he's so happy. So he'll enter basic training in
So do
2
they
months.
have to sign up for a certain amount of time?
Yes, basically 8 years.
Oh, that much?
6 years will be active, and then 2 will be more on standby.
Oh, wow.
Which was twice as long as he originally thought. It was kind of at the tail end that he's like, 8 years, not 4?
Yeah.
Wow.
But with the Army National Guard, it's 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year. So it's not the kind of level of commitment of other branches.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So,
good.
but I'm excited to watch him. I can already kind of just see. I think there's going to be that respect and honor, and he's going to learn all that.
There was an investor or some business guru guy said that every kid, every boy should sign up for the army because of the discipline that they learn.
I think I would agree with that.
Yeah, to really
Just to have him clean a room.
That's right.
That will be worth it right there, right?
discipline and determined. You have to be persistent on go all the time, taking direction.
I'm excited.
I don't know what that does to a mom's heart. That might be a little difficult, but
I'm not one to worry until maybe he gets drafted, because chances are in a 6-year period they said you will be drafted for 9 to 12 months.
well, good for
But then all
him.
the people we've talked to have really enjoyed that experience as well.
Congratulations.
So anyway, thanks guys.
Coming up next, we will hear all about Afua and her African adventures. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Many people travel to visit a family during the holidays, but Afua probably won the award for the longest trip home.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, 24 hours? And my sister, they stopped off. I mean, hers was, she stopped off in Dubai for 21 hours.
Lucky.
Layover.
Well,
Yeah.
well, was it a good layover?
It was good, yeah. They said it was really pretty.
They left the airport, I'm sure.
Well, the airport's like a mall.
I was going to say, like, there's some good shopping
really
there.
Rich and but anyway, layovers. And I did stop over in London and had fish and chips. Oh my gosh, the fish just melted in my mouth. And
So jealous.
Okay,
cream
so
of
tell us
tartar. Anyway.
why you went and who went with you.
Okay, so we went to Ghana and with my whole family, my children, my husband, for my mum's 80th birthday. We did get to see my dad, but it was more for my mum. Because she's going to be 80, but she doesn't look it. She's so cute. So we did a massive party for her, and it was really nice. Yeah, and just everyone helping, to create this party, because I really didn't know who, you
Right, you
all the
needed help
catering.
there.
Yeah.
Wow.
But her brothers came down. It's like a 2-3 hour journey. They lived up north to where my mum was.
So can I ask,
Yeah.
I mean, is it like a traditional birthday party, or what's different about a birthday party?
Well,
You know,
it was like a birthday party that we would have here, but everyone was dressed in their kente cloth,
Okay.
with different colors, and the men have this massive cloth all over them, and it was just nice.
And does that represent anything?
the
cloth
the
or-
cloth. No,
It's just tradition.
Yeah, tradition and special occasions.
Wow. Okay.
And we have the Queen Mother, because in certain tribes you have the Queen Mother come down. And she came, and I just couldn't believe it. You know, it's kind
I
of
loved your pictures you posted. That was really cool to say the Queen Mother. And so
I know.
How do you earn the role of Queen Mother?
It's in your lineage.
Oh.
So in a way, down the road, I could also have that if I decided to move back to Ghana. So I'm royalty.
Wow.
African royalty. I'll have you know.
Really?
Okay. Yes.
So, but you were born in London?
In London, but my mom was born in
Ghana.
and she would have had that role, but because of us, she wanted to come to England, and so.
Oh, okay.
But my son, who's called Yao Adadi Amwako Danes, he's my only child with the first African, you know, all my other sons have a middle name that's a Ghanaian, but Yao, my third born, has his middle name as his first name. So when we go anywhere, everyone's like, "Oh, where's Yao?" You know, and they said that they want him to be chief. They're going to groom him to become chief.
Wow.
Such a cool culture.
It really is. It is.
And you were busy. Like, it was not
busy.
relaxing.
Oh, it wasn't. It's just hustle bustle. My husband was just like, "Whoa." You know, the markets. I love that. I love the music. I love the food. It was like going home. You know, comfort food. We love comfort food here. Potatoes and gravy and all that. We had plantains and beans and, you know, nuts and just
things that you don't
stews.
find here.
We do, but I don't make it. It's the time to really, you know, they really love making stews and taking time and stuff like that. But my biggest thing that I'd like to share with you is that the women really work. You know, everyone works. No one's really got time to get depressed. And that was what is your views on this? So I think, you know, you can always have the option of rearing your children and stuff like that. But these women, like, they work and they have to work and they hustle and bustle and have things on their heads and go to the market and sell, but they also have fun. And I'm just wondering, sometimes, do you think some of us here in the Western world don't really have a purpose, something to strive for? And then so you have this expectation that's outside of what you really want to do. And so then you become sad in a way. Yeah. And then you don't know how to deal with that. And then you're just popping pills. Whereas what I noticed there was that they had no time for that. They have, you know, you got to get up. Where's your next meal going to be? You know, you've got 3 kids here. Well, how am I going to look after my kid? So there's a lot of entrepreneurial stuff going on there. And I was amazed by the women. Yeah, I was. You know, if you go to buy a cup and it's $10 or something, you're like, well, I can't pay that. Okay, $5. You know, it just came. It was just like this quickness of these women, how to deal with business and work things up.
That's cool.
That was fantastic.
Oh, I think that I think that's fantastic. I think I thrive on that too.
Yeah.
I think
just
I'm
that
all
quickness.
Yeah. I think I would say that I complain about being overwhelmed at times, but absolutely. I don't know how to not be busy. Yeah. Like, I love that. I know. And when you said, you know, that you were like, oh, I was so busy when we were there. But why would you go that whole why would you travel that whole way to not be busy? Yes.
You know what? But looking at my husband, he's not used to that. You know, their lifestyle was more of a slower pace, more quiet. And I get that, you know, because when we came back, it is a lot quiet. Whereas in Ghana, it was like fireworks up until 3-4 o'clock, parties just blaring out music, which, you know, someone would have called the police. So
the African culture is just
because it's Christmas. So Christmas lasts for the whole 2 weeks. Sure. I was like, I went over there and boogieing along, you know. But
now, you've taken your boys before.
Yes.
Just once?
Just once.
And it was pretty recent, a couple of years ago?
2 years ago, yes.
So was this trip a lot different? Or some similarities?
Similarities, but we went more places this time, and so I think they appreciated it a lot more. You know,
and they're a little older.
And a little older, and we did visit an orphanage that was like just poorly run. You know, 100 kids, and it's poorly run. And I think the whole country, a lot of these third world, there's plenty in the world. You know, from donations, but I really believe it's how the governments run the country. Wow. It's more about self, not, you know, really for the people. And so that's my little take on that, you know. But anyway, it was amazing. And there was one last thing. There was a song, right? And we found KFC. So my thing was KFC. Go to Ghana to go to KFC, yeah? And the song was, the woman was like, I hate you right now. I hate you right now. It says, and she blares it out. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's a weird song. And I watched it, and the video is talking about how women get abused. And it was a very interesting, but the way they've done it, the tune was great, but the message, and then at the end it says that how we all should look out for each other, and that women should feel liberated and feel that they have a way, you know, they can reach out to somebody else to help them out of that situation. Whereas, you know, you would have thought that's an obnoxious song, you know, I hate you right now or something like that.
Yeah, that's a negative.
But she was looking at the guy in the video, she's looking at the guy who wants to, you know, do her bad and just says, I hate you right now, and she's trying to leave.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah, it's just,
well, you need to go on more trips and come back. That's kudos to you. That's super awesome. Yeah, cool. Very good. Well, thanks for sharing. Yes, welcome. Coming up next, we will talk about the number one resolution for the new year. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. The number one resolution is also the first to be broken, and it's fitness. To help fix that problem, let's welcome Kayla Potter to the show.
Hey,
Thanks for having
She's
me.
got beautiful blue eyes. I love it.
Indeed, she does.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, of course.
So when I reached out to have you come, I thought you were in a different location. Now you're in a new location.
Yeah,
so let's
we
start by your facility's name, where you are.
So our gym's called Limitless Athletics, and we've been at that location since September 2016. So just a little over a year.
Okay.
And then before that, we were down on Main Street.
So where is this location?
So we're up on top of Center Street, right off of US 6.
So right by Cowboy Donuts.
Yes.
I think that's a great location.
We eat way more donuts than we should, but it's fun.
And that's okay, right? As long as you get in the workout first, then you can go.
That's the
and
best
you can
time
have
to eat a donut.
the little donut holes, right? Then it's not as bad.
There you go.
Those
So
are my
why
son's
is
favorite.
it? Why do people get so tripped up on breaking the resolution or starting it? Or, I mean,
Yeah, I think we all have that goal to be fit. We all have this idea of where we want to be health-wise, but it's really hard to stick with it because we don't make it a priority, and life gets in the way. And so I think that has a lot to do with it. We can always come up with a reason not to get up at 4:30 in the morning and go to the gym, right?
okay, yes.
Our beds are way more comfortable, especially in the winter.
Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah. So I think it's an easy one to break for that reason. But I think when you're in an environment where it's fun and there's a lot of people that you know, then it makes it more fun and
And that you know
more
they're kind of
enjoyable.
expecting you to come. I think that's helpful too.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you offer in your environment? What type of classes?
Yeah, so we do boot camp, we do high intensity interval training, we do Zumba, yoga, and Pyo, and then we most recently just added a refit class, which is similar to Zumba, but they stick with like the top 40 songs and do different moves to those songs, so it's kind of fun.
Oh, how fun.
Okay. So what do you do there specifically?
So I do most of the personal training, so the one-on-one, semi-private sessions, and I've been doing that for quite a while. So that's kind of what I
and to be a
stick with.
personal trainer, you have to get certified and take classes.
Yeah, and I have a degree from UVU.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so a bachelor's in exercise science, and most of our trainers there actually have degrees. And one of them, Shell Crow, I don't know if you guys know her. She has a master's degree, so we're all pretty knowledgeable in.
So how does that work for a plan for maybe one of us ladies? So we come in, we say, okay, sign us up for the membership. Basically, we can come to any one of the classes, I would assume.
Right.
And then we can add on a personal program.
Personal training, yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of people do both because they like the one-on-one attention and the extra accountability, but then they also like to come more than once, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of fun. And so we appeal to a lot of different people because people like the one-on-one attention, but then they can also just come and work out in a group. Our classes are really small, and so we cap them at 12. And then,
that's nice.
Yeah, so everybody knows your name, and the same people come to the same classes, so it's pretty fun.
And do you let people choose what group or what class that they prefer, or depending on your body type or age, do you kind of guide them in certain areas?
We let them choose for the most part, but if someone were to come in and they had no experience whatsoever working out in a gym, which that's happened before, then we would encourage them to do some personal training first, just to make sure that they're going to be safe and they're going to be doing everything correctly so that there's no injuries.
Okay.
And so we do have functional training packages too.
Okay.
Just kind of like starter packs.
So what do you do for someone who's later, still young but in their 40s, right?
Yeah, like in their 40s, we're asking for friends.
and they're not motivated. They used to be motivated and just...
You were motivated last month.
Who said it's anything to do with me?
Your friend was motivated last month.
That's right. Just hypothetical question here.
Okay.
They're in their mid-40s, and they used to be very athletic, and then all of a sudden, midlife crisis, but they want to get back, but they just can't, just do it.
Well, you have to have the want to first.
Yeah. Well, they have
to walk in the door. Yeah.
Every time my friend tells me this, right? They see a jogger bike, and like just watching, like, I used to be like that. Yeah.
But I could promise you that if you were to come in and you're hesitant, our environment, we pride ourselves on having a super welcoming, super fun environment.
Right.
And most everybody that comes absolutely loves it. So
What are like one or two tips you could give us on
keeping with your New Year's resolutions?
Tips on anything.
So motivation too.
And
so
motivation.
To get us to limitless athletics.
Okay. I would say be persistent.
That would be great.
I would say remain persistent. A lot of times we'll have a bad week or we'll eat a donut or something, and then we just give up, right? And somebody once said that if you did that, that would be like getting a flat tire on the freeway and then just getting out, popping all the other three, and not just throwing on. Because it's for real, right? Because we just might as well just eat the whole cake. I had a piece, right? Just remain persistent and just keep going because it's not. I mean, the fittest person in the world eats cake and they just get back on the wagon quicker and they stick with it. So it's not a straight climb. It's up and down for everybody. You just want to go mostly up, right?
So it's everyday choices. You
It's
miss a
every
day, next day get back on it.
It's every minute, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And being close to cowboy donuts. I mean, really, I just see myself my friend, right? Getting over there and not quite making it back to the gym, But,
So, Caleb, I always hear it's 80% of what you eat, 20% of your workout. Is that accurate?
I would say, when you're trying to lose weight, most of it is what you eat.
What's one or two things that, like, you could just say, make sure you're for sure eating more of this year? Or, like, what would be one or two things you could do?
So I would say make sure you're getting in your green vegetables every day. I know.
And drinking your water.
Your water. Those two. And protein.
Yes.
And I mean, it's like a broken record, right? But I had one client just recently. She's been working out with me since May. And from May to July, she lost maybe 5 pounds, and she was really discouraged.
Oh, wow.
And I just said, you've got to start eating your vegetables, because she tracked her calories and brought it in. And she said, I hate vegetables. I don't want to. I said, just do it. I promise it'll. And between July and October, she lost 25 pounds.
Oh,
and that's the only thing she changed.
No way.
So sometimes I think our bodies aren't nourished enough, and just by adding the vitamins and the minerals and everything that we need, then all of a sudden our body will do what we want it to do.
We need to think differently. I need to look at vegetables like it's nourishing my body. It's giving it the nutrients that I need to perform on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And then you hear that you start craving those good things. If you eat sugar, you're going to crave more. But if you're eating vegetables, you'll crave more.
Yeah. And I always tell people to just switch your mindset too. Like, if you do eat the bad things, you just want to make sure it's not bad. It's just that you're not getting out of it what you need. And so you want to eat healthy to be healthy, not to be skinny or to be...
Right.
Yeah. You want to switch your mindset like that. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time that we have. Really quickly, do you have a trial membership? And if so,
we do.
How do we get a hold of you?
So the best way, you can call me or look on our website.
Okay.
LimitlessAthleticsUtah.com.
Okay.
Everybody that comes in the door gets a free week.
Okay.
So you can come in and get 7 days and
Awesome.
try all of our classes and see what you think. So
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Good to have you.
Yeah.
Coming up next, probably the number 2 New Year's resolution is about money. Stay with us for some ideas about that. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Number 2 resolution in our unofficial poll is finances. Let's welcome Julianne Roberts from Larson & Company to the table.
Hi, Julianne.
Welcome.
Thank you.
This is a good time to have you back.
It is.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So one of the main reasons we wanted to have you back is after the holidays, it's kind of time to bring things back in check.
Right.
After maybe we've overspent. This year, in particular, I did a day-to-day spend in December just to see.
Really?
And keep
to track
honest.
it. And
yes, just to see what we were really spending and have an honest conversation after the fact to bring things in line. Pleased with some of the results, not so pleased with some of the other results, and then to have a fresh start in the new year and do exactly maybe some of the things that you have suggested. So you've talked about a 50-30-20 plan.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So the 50-20-30 method for budgeting, the 50 is for essential living. So of your take-home pay, no more than 50% should be spent on your living expenses. So rent or mortgage, utilities, fuel, your internet, any car payment phones, any medical costs, daycare, I think would be considered in that. So that's 50% of your take home should be spent on that. The 20% is on financial goals.
Okay.
So any investing that you do, any retirement that you contribute to, an IRA or something, any savings that you have for your emergency savings or long-term savings, and any credit card or car payments over and above that minimum payment should be in that investment category. So your essential is that you're paying like the minimum, you're going to pay at least the minimum on your credit cards. You're going to pay, your car payment, but anything that you want to pay off above and beyond that could be part of that 20% in financial goal section.
Okay.
So of the 50%, we know that there's things that have variables. So the things that maybe change, I guess, month to month because maybe your electrical or maybe you change phone plans over the course of time or something that are going to be up or down. How do you, I guess, what's the best way to track that? I'm sure maybe you're using QuickBooks or something like that, but not everybody is. Is there like a...
It is important to know that you've got to be flexible. This 50-20-30 plan, might be tweaked every month, or every 6 months, so you've got to be flexible and understand that might change a little bit. And the 30% is your personal spending. So which
is my favorite section.
Right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, mine too.
Right. Eating out, movies, shopping, whether it's clothes shopping or, stuff for your house, anything like that is personal spending. And that shouldn't go over 30%.
Is pretty high.
Yeah, when you think about 30%.
Yeah, 30%. So I must do 50%, I reckon.
So, and that 30% should be like the top. Like you shouldn't be spending more than 30%, on that stuff. Yeah. And you might have to decide for your family, where things fit.
So maybe you can change that a little bit.
Maybe.
So if you have different goals, maybe you change the percentages a little bit?
Maybe.
Okay.
But I mean, I think the reason that I liked this method, I think it gets really overwhelming for someone to be like, I got a budget, I have to have this and this, all these categories. You still got to track, like you said, but I think it's a little less intimidating to just kind of think of 3 broad categories.
Yeah, I've never thought of that.
Of how you're tracking your money a little, maybe it might be a little easier.
What would that go into? Your financial goals?
I don't know, maybe.
Like a lot of people in our community donate to their church, for example. So if 10% of your income, would that be essentials?
It might depend on
your beliefs,
and what's right for your family.
Okay.
I was talking to my husband about this, and we decided that extracurricular activities for the kids would probably be in personal spending.
I would think so too.
Because
if you don't
to
have
some
the
people
money,
that might
they don't get to do it.
Right. Well, I remember this really stuck with me. I know the last time you were here, and when you start planning for those long-term goals, you were talking about your family going to Disneyland, and I think the car had broken down or something, and your little girl was really,
distraught.
When she thought that the Disneyland funds were going to fix the van or something. So being very particular, I think, about dividing out those funds and how you save them and putting them into different piggy banks, if you will, to make sure that everything is drawn out for the long term. And I know just by trying to see our day-to-day spending and trying to keep things in check by, is that a want or a need? And then what are the long-term goals? And, if we want to retire 20 years from now, what do we have to do, in the next 5 years to make that happen?
What needs to be in that 20%?
Right. Or do we give up, Disney this year to go to wherever next year? Or, and maybe it is, I don't know if it's this paper, if it's Excel spreadsheets, maybe it is QuickBooks, I don't know. And maybe they can come to you for professional advice. But really, I think you have to get super granular for some of those things because there's not enough long-term planning anymore, which brings up the next point for helping kids.
Yes.
I cannot believe how many kids, even at the junior high and high school level nowadays, do not know how to write a check.
Well, who writes checks?
Right.
I do.
When was the last check you wrote?
My kids' tuition for school.
My 7th grader in one of his classes learned how to write a check.
Right. Well, I know that it's not so common anymore, and I know that a lot of it now is just for auto deposit and but I still think that it's very it's still necessary.
Right.
I am appalled, really, that they're just learning it for maybe a finance class in high school.
Right.
Am I crazy?
None of my kids even have checkbooks because I write a check about once a month for just usually the same thing.
Right.
But I don't believe any of my kids have checkbooks.
So is it really like a thing of the past? I know so many things are electronic, which... Oh, okay, that's fine.
You can get everything.
Oh my gosh, I'm so old. This is
So how do we teach our kids about finances?
I think one of the big things is just having a conversation with them. Okay. With my kids, we don't talk about specific numbers with them, but we talk tell them there's a finite amount of money, and what our family chooses to spend it on.
Okay.
The kids want a bigger house, or bigger yard, or their own room, and we talked about, okay, well, we could do that, but then maybe it would mean fewer vacations, or eating out less often, and
good point.
and we would rather have those kind of activities, experiences with our kids, than have one more bedroom that we need to, clean and keep track of.
Absolutely.
So even just having those conversations so they understand, we're choosing to do this instead of this.
So I do the envelope system. I work at Utah Valley Magazine and I get commission. So my checks can just vary throughout the year. And so I go get it and then I divide my money up and I have like a birthday envelope, a date envelope, just all these different envelopes. But when the kids were little and at home, there were oftentimes I would bring home, put the money on the table, and they would see me putting the money in the envelopes like, oh, there's no money going in the closed envelope this month and only half the amount in this envelope. And it helped them like, oh, I'm not going to ask because that's the money we have. It's not a card.
Right.
That's
they
the
saw
money.
the dollars.
I know. I love that. And there was another point that you had here on our points to discuss today is about letting them fail.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I think that's what I don't love about the electronic system is because there's nothing to illustrate that there's no money because they just don't see it. And in the land of like, we just get it.
Yeah.
And I remember even as a small child saying, well, just write a check. Because, know, I was from the land of check writing, just write a check.
Use your card.
Right? Or, the credit card system.
Yeah.
So, no, I love it. So this is so good.
Thank you. Include your kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a conversation.
And if anyone would love some professional advice, how do they get a hold of you?
So I work at Larson & Company here in Spanish Fort.
Okay.
Our phone number is 801-798-3545. But we're on Main Street across from Carl's Jr.
You're on Facebook,
we're on Facebook,
media.
Instagram, Twitter, Larson & Company. We're out there.
Awesome. We just love having you. Thank you so, so much. Coming up next, do you constantly fight with the kids to eat their vegetables? Stay with us for some help. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Dinner time can be a real challenge, especially if you have kids at the table. How do you get them to eat healthy stuff? Welcome Ann Earl to the conversation. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
This is going to be fun to listen to your kids.
We all have children. Well, I have small children, and so does hers have left, but she's got grandkids too. So
yeah, perfect.
You want to learn everything about us. So anyway, tell us about who you are and why you're here.
Thanks. Yeah. So I'm Ann Earl, and I am first a mother to Ellie, who's 6, Jensen, who's 4, and Alice, who's 2.
Oh, wow. Okay. You've got small too.
Yeah, littles. And so I studied exercise science and health promotion at BYU. I earned my master's in that. So I studied a lot of nutrition, a lot of what helps the body stay healthy and be healthy. And so I found, though, when I had these small children, it wasn't as easy to get them to eat everything that I felt that they should and that I knew they should. And so one day I was having this conversation with my daughter about how the peels in fruits and vegetables are really good for us because the peels have antioxidants. And so I really dumbed it down, and I said, antioxidants are like good guys. And the good guys go after the free radicals. That's the bad guys in our body. And she was like, okay. And then she ate the pill. And I was like, hey, that, I might be onto something here, So then it was like, we were having carrots. And I'm like, carrots have vitamin A. And vitamin A helps your eyes. And it helps you to see better. So then she's like eating the carrots.
I need you at my
I was going to say, I'm like, maybe I will start having the peel. Yeah, this is good.
So, but then they'd be like, well, what's in broccoli? And I think fiber, but I can't remember for sure. So it came to everything we were eating. They wanted to know what was in it.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And so then I went looking for a resource. I was ready to buy something, a printable or, a plate or something.
And there was nothing out there.
Nothing.
Are you kidding?
You could get a picture of an apple on a flashcard, but kids already knew. They already knew what an apple was. Yeah.
But there were no other plates. That is crazy.
No print. I just wanted
these around a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. So, I was telling my husband about this. He's a business entrepreneur, and he said, "Why don't we do something? Let's come up with something." And so we've spent the last year and a half
designing,
refining, sourcing. I've learned a ton of stuff about how this all works, and then we came up. We did a lot of market research.
Love the colors.
With different designs.
And
so then what we did was we decided to put the top 3 nutrients in each fruit or vegetable.
Okay, I love this. Like, I totally want this for my own plate.
Yeah.
I'm like, fiber in apples, I didn't know.
So getting you some for your birthday.
I buy my own before that.
Yes.
And this is awesome.
Thank you. We're really excited about it. My a lot of these fruits and vegetables have more than just these 3.
Right. But those are the top.
But these are the top 3 in each fruit or vegetable. And then we put icons because some of the kids who use these can't read yet, or some of these words might be a little bit bigger for them.
Okay.
So they can look and see, here's the peach, it's got vitamin C. And then they can see the picture of the tooth, so they're going to know that that's going to help their teeth.
So I can see, like on your vitamin C, it says Hills Cuts. So are the same vitamin C on every plate the same, or did you switch that up?
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay, cool.
Well, I love that they're,
dishwasher safe, I'm assuming.
Yep, they're dishwasher safe, microwave safe.
They're not going to slip off the table.
Yeah, they have this non-slip silicone ring on the back.
Okay, how are you marketing this?
So we just launched a Kickstarter.
Okay.
And so you can find us on Kickstarter at Healthy Kiddos. And so this is the only place you can find them right now.
I've never heard of Kickstarter.
Okay, well, it's crowdfunding.
That's okay. She had never heard the word doppelganger tonight either, so it's okay.
Yeah, we're good.
So you're saying I go to Kickstarter.
And you can pre-order the plates.
Oh, off of there.
Off there.
Okay.
Yep. And then once our Kickstarter's over, there'll probably be another 30 to 60 days for us to get our first order in, and then they'll be available Amazon, Etsy.
Oh, really? So how much are you going to sell this at for, or do you know that yet?
So we're working on pricing.
Okay.
They'll come in sets of 4.
Oh, okay. So
2
there's
fruits
8.
and 2 vegetables.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
Well, I think the one thing that really excited me about the plates when I very first saw them was that we get so caught up as adults about, let's try another kale shake, or let's, adults. There's always something for adults. And like you said, there's not really a lot for children or something to excite them but having that honest conversation that you had with your daughter to say, what's an antioxidant? What's a free radical? Or, what's exciting about eating broccoli? I mean, this is super exciting, and this is great timing, I think, too. So,
And I think it also helps you feel like you're doing your job as a mom. Totally. Everyone out there doesn't have a master's degree in nutrition, but they might have another strength as a mom. So this is just helping moms and dads out there really educate their kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is really cool. I like it.
We're really happy.
Well, especially in a world, too, where everything is so processed and you're handing your kid fruit snacks and chips and all the time, trying to convince them to eat fresh fruits and vegetables. Not only does it add some more excitement to offering fresh fruits and vegetables, but they're also learning. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So what's the reaction when you put this in front of your child now?
Well, so that's a great question. So we have these samples that we got. So we gifted some to our nieces and nephews for Christmas. And I have a niece who's 4, really, really picky eater. And they gave her the green bean plate one night. Served green beans. She normally won't eat them, but once they talked about what it was going to do in her body, she was like, okay, I'll eat them.
No way.
2 servings. Had 2 servings that night. And then it was like, well, what's in those grapes? I'll eat those grapes if you'll tell me what's about.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem if you. What's in grapes? Do we have a grape plate? I don't know.
That's why you have to collect all 12.
Oh, very good, right?
And then we're working. We have 12 right now, and then as soon as we get, these ones rolling in the market, we've got another 12 that we're going to launch as well.
This is so fun.
Is fun.
I don't even have little kids, and I'm like,
wow.
So fun.
Might be good for your husband too. I don't know.
It'd be good for me.
Like you said, I think it'd be good for any of us too. Okay, tell us one more time before we're out of time how we can get these plates ordered.
Okay, so you can pre-order them on Kickstarter. Go to Kickstarter.com. Just search Healthy Kiddos. That's our company name. You can go to healthykiddos.com, and then it'll direct you to Kickstarter as well. And then you can pre-order them. You have till the end of the month to pre-order.
Okay.
And then it'll be about, like I said, 30 to 60 days, and then you'll be able to actually directly order them. But pre-order now because the price will go up after Kickstarter.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Annie.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. There is more studio chatter on the way. Well, we made it again. What did you learn today?
Oh, I love that. The plates. I love the plates with the vegetables. I think my kids, because I did do the placemats.
Okay.
And I remember when they were little, and they really loved that. So to have an actual plate for them to eat and then see the information.
Somehow I knew that the plates would be a hit.
Yeah, that was really good idea.
I always love talking about finances. I don't think we talk about it enough. And so you just kind of get in your own little rut and do what you do. And it's important to talk about that more. I hate talking about finances and stuff.
I'm always telling my husband, we're unlimited beings, because when I see the money in the bank account, then I'll believe what you're saying.
It's a difficult conversation sometimes. I think you don't want to talk about finances sometimes, and then, getting actually fit for the year, like you have to get
Talk
back
about
on
it.
track.
Sure.
Yes. I would like just to be able to, touch my toes again and get stretching again.
I see what I want to look like. It was really nice having Yeah, it is. How I want to see myself. You know, when they say once you hit 40s, 50s, whatever, you're losing your muscle mass.
Yeah, the muscle.
And I feel that. I see it in certain places.
Yes.
I don't want to show anyone, but you know.
Yeah. But they say it in your 30s and 40s, weights are as important as cardio.
Well, it is,
It's true.
This is true.
Yeah. So I want to remind you guys about the book Club Choice. Homegoing.
Really good.
Beautiful book. I hope you both can read it.
Yes.
We'll talk about it on our next episode. So Homegoing by Yaa Gysi.
Yes, was it? Oh, yeah.
Well, our reasons for reading it now are twofold. You were actually able to visit a couple of the places, so I'm more anxious to finish it now, and would encourage our viewers to finish it as well.
Written, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is their first time writing.
Right. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Awesome.
So,
Yes.
well, we had a fun episode.
Yes, great episode.
I'm going to go home and get on Kickstarter.
Yes.
Some plates.
Very good.
To support local people.
That's right.
Thanks for being here with us. We hope you enjoyed the conversation.